If your idea of going out is to distress everybody by damage, by destroying property, by threatening, by abusing, by breaking into cars, don't be surprised if I take a different view of your liberties. You will be arrested in this town, you will be charged. I will insist that you get bail conditions, that you will actually find it difficult to go out from your home after 6 o'clock at night. I'll impose bail conditions that make it difficult for you to go to licensed premises and socialise with your friends. We're not playing a cricket game here. We're not breaking the law either. What we're doing is we're doing a very positive policing job that takes advantage of every protection the law affords members of the community.
Nowhere has the issue controversial than in the police crackdown on prostitution.
We've carried on using the curfew system, excluding prostitutes from the area, arresting them, and I'm sure if you asked any of the residents up there now, it's a lot nicer. I think we have displaced them completely.
But the policing policy is meeting with opposition, and not just from prostitutes. Many of the women have told us they sell sex to pay for drugs. Doctors who treat them for drug addiction believe Townsafe is doing more harm than good. Lawyers are concerned the police are abusing their powers. Betty is 26. She's struggling with a heroin habit.
Before the curfews came in, and the police weren't around as much then, I'd make within an hour and a half, I could make 100, 110. But now, an hour, I'd still be standing there now.
How many men would you see in a week?
In a week? Oh, say about 20 more.
And before Townsafe started?
Oh, a hell of a lot more. About 50.
Do you think the curfews will actually stamp out prostitution?
No. No.
But you're going to keep getting arrested if you're out on the street all the time?
No. I'd rather get arrested and do my time in jail, pay me fine. Because the more the judge, when we go to court, they're fining us. Now we're going to go back out to make that money. So
it's not going to stop you?
It's not going to stop me.
Some prostitutes have been driven away from the town, but others have retreated deep into Birkenhead's ill-lit dockland. We've agreed not to reveal this woman's identity and to
be a safe place to work. But now it's you've got to go in areas that you don't know. It's dark, you know what I mean? There's no protection. It's just gone to pot since this Townsafe thing's come into place. Well, if it gets any worse, and I did have to stop, I'd have to turn to alternative crime. You know, thieving from shops, houses, anything. You know what I mean? To support my habit.
Wouldn't it be better to stop your drugs habit and the prostitution?
Yeah, but it's not so easy, is it?
Isn't it?
No, not really. When you apply for a rehab, you have to wait, for funding. You know what I mean? It takes nearly a year. I've been into a rehab and it took me, nearly 14 months to get in.
Hiya, how are you? Not too bad, you know. I just need some work.
Many prostitutes in Birkenhead, particularly those with drug habits, have come to rely on needle exchange clinics, which supply free sterile syringes and condoms. It's a system introduced in the 1980s, at the height of concern about the spread of AIDS, and pioneered on Merseyside. Healthcare staff called outreach workers provide the vital link between prostitutes and clinics. They go out on the streets to make sure the women get regular supplies, a community health policy aimed at preventing the spread of disease.
Up till now, we have had no working woman with HIV. The other lesser forms of sexually transmitted diseases have been picked up and treated early. The medical problems, whether to do with chest infections or people being unwell, and the social problems with childcare, etc., are all being picked up by outreach on an early basis and treated.
The persistence of the police has curfews further disrupt their working patterns. Years of steady progress by health workers, building up trust and regular contact, is threatened. They simply can't keep track of them. That means no one's sure they're using condoms or clean needles anymore.
Even for young women that have initially appeared on the prostitution scene, up till now, from a medical point of view, with outreach help, one can speak to young women and talk them out of the profession and certainly get them to change their ways. And I think that will also go missing. I can only see it getting worse unless the management of the problem from the police aspect is changed in some way to acceptance of a tolerance or comfort zone.
Without a tolerance zone, some of the prostitutes who remain in Birkenhead are now practicing their trade on housing estates, where residents have been dismayed to find it's become their problem.
They were off the north end of the town and the police have gradually moved them out. They've cleaned up all that area. But the prostitutes now are around by Birkenhead Park, by the old roller ring, picking up clients and bringing them to this road here and using this to perform the services and, you know, get the work done, sort of thing. We object to that because there's a lot of young children in the area. We as a residents association are trying to clear up the estate and make it a pleasant and decent place to live. And once you start things like this going on, you're going to have more and more, you know, prostitute use in the area. You're going to have used condoms. That leads to drugs, and you're going to have syringes around. And you can see children here now in the closes, and well, we just don't want that for our area.
In 1994, 6 women were arrested for prostitution in Birkenhead. So far this year, 101 have faced charges. The police intend to keep up the pressure.
There's always displacement whenever a police operation takes place. And what I would suggest is we work in company with other area commanders and we look at making sure that we don't just play a game of ping pong and push things from one area to another. We share information, we share intelligence, we share resources. Yes, it does displace, and we should be following to where the displacement takes place.
Since 1995, police forces have had the powers to impose curfews when they bail prostitutes and other suspects. The conditions apply after arrest, but before the case is heard in court.
The public deserve to be protected. The law is there to provide that protection. And so just to arrest somebody and have them back out committing crime a day later brings the law into disrepute. We're seen to be ineffective. The public point the finger at us. They don't see that we've made that arrest 4 or 5 times and somebody's back out committing it.
But prostitutes are threatening legal action against the police if the policy continues. A local solicitor is preparing to ask the High Court to rule against the blanket imposition of curfews.
The police are bailing the girls with the curfew condition for 4 or 5 weeks before they make their first appearance in court, and they are thereby affecting the liberty of that particular person, where at the end of the day the courts are only imposing financial penalties because that's the extent of their powers.
Moving down there.
When we get to court, prostitutes particularly are wanting to plead guilty to the offences, even on occasions when they very much vehemently deny that on the time of that particular arrest that they're guilty of an offence, and the reason why they want to plead guilty and get the case over and done with is because they don't want to be still the subject of the curfew condition.
Okay.
Police say they'll be reviewing their strategy about prostitutes, but that it'll continue to be driven by the wishes of families who've complained.